everybody. Welcome to the math edition of Where's Waldo? I hope you guys are well. We're looking at a little bit of a review for this week on 3 concepts that we did right after the midterm time. So a little bit of a breather this week for math. You guys have worked really hard. Great job on that algebra. I know showing all that work and sending it in was kind of a pain, but everybody's doing really well with it. I'm super proud of you guys. So again, a little bit of a breather. This will all be online for you. You'll key in your answers like we've done before, and you won't have to send me any work. So here we go. So a little bit of opposites, a little bit of PEMDAS, and a little bit of absolute value. You'll still have 3 assignments. Opposites, I can't remember which order I put them in online, but one will be on opposites. So one of those will be called homework 1, and then you'll have a homework 2, PEMDAS, and a homework 3, absolute value. Again, can't remember which order I put them in, but that's what you're looking at doing this week. Something else I am not going to give any B forms this week. So if you notice that, no level B forms. If you are bored and you want, I know many of you told me you have plenty of work to do, but if you are bored and you want a level B of any of these items, I will send it to you separately. So just message me, okay? Just trying to give you guys a little bit of a respite today, a little less science and then a bit of review for math. All right, so for opposites, you guys, now remember opposites, this tells you on the homework as a reminder and on the online notes. So please, please, please watch the videos. So many people are saying that the majority of time that helps so much. Watch the video, and then you can also look at the online notes. And it tells you in the online notes that opposites are numbers that are the same digit, so a 6 and a 6, but one of them is going one way past 0 and the other one is going into the positive zone past 0, but they're the same distance from 0. So here's my 0. If I've got -3, then the opposite of that would be a +3. This was very strong for all of you, so this should be a great quick review of opposites, okay? So what is the opposite of -6? Well, if I'm going 6 that way, then the opposite of that is going 6 in the positive direction past 0. So the opposite would just simply be the number 6. What is the opposite of 17? Well, if I'm not +17, then I'm going in the opposite direction from 0, equal distance. That is a -17. Some of you may even have some of this old homework that you did a while back. The opposite of -42.5. Don't let the decimals scare you. You're not changing that number. The only thing you're shifting are not the digits, but the sign in front. So the opposite of a -42.5 is a +42.5. Again, equal distance from 0, but in the opposite direction. The opposite of 318.6, that's a positive, so we're going to make it a negative. -318.6. Again, do not change any digits. We're just looking for the opposite sign in front. We're negating this. The opposite of -3/4 or 3/4. The opposite of a -3/4, +3/4. Also known as 0.75 for those of you that wanted to write that as a decimal or thinking of it like a decimal. The opposite of a +8 1/4 or 8 1/4. This is a positive. The opposite would be a negative. I'm not going to spend too much more time on that because you guys, again, nailed it pretty well with a couple exceptions as we did it, again, after midterm time. All right, looking at PEMDAS. This is where some people face some struggles. PEMDAS is not the easiest thing in the world, I know. I'll grab another marker here for a different color. For PEMDAS, I've got it up here, and you guys probably will guess why I have those purple parentheses around the M and the D and the A and the S. And that is because, just like I will have put in the directions on the homework, once you get past parentheses and exponents, all right, we go to multiplication and division. And how many times did we talk about that? When multiplication and division are in the problem and that's what's left, you now have to go left to right. You can't just pick and choose, okay? Same thing with addition and subtraction. We move left to right if that's all we have left. Some of you have already told me in Zooms this past week that you actually have your PEMDAS pull tools. If you've got those at home, I recommended that you take them the last day we were together. These Where's Waldo glasses are very different. It's very, very hard to wear these. You're going to go left to right on those too. But anyway, with that pull card, what I was going to say is that this same thing is on there. It's just that it's kind of nice because you can pull up one step at a time. So if you have that tool with you, great. I will attach the template for it if you happen to have a printer and you want to print it out and make one. So let's kind of go through these because this is what was a little bit trickier. Again, we're looking for parentheses first. That's what we have to check for. This one does have parentheses, so we want to tackle that first. Pretend nothing else is there except the parentheses. So we're going to do our 3 plus 1, which is 4. And again, we want this to look like the cone method, so like an ice cream cone, right? So we're doing one step at a time. I'm going to have to kind of squeeze it in here on the board, but we'll make it work. And then don't forget, so I already did that part, the 3 plus 1, but I've got to bring down everything else still. I can't just forget about all of that. Now we look and see, do we have exponents? We don't. Remember exponents? I'll show you an example. Like if you had x squared, that teeny tiny number, if you remember, is an exponent. We don't have any here, so that's good news. We don't have to worry. Now we have to look and see if we have multiplication and division. And here we go, right? I love this one because it's not in the order that you see it up here, but remember, when this is all we have left, all we have to do is, just like we read a book, going left to right. So I want to do 40 divided by 4, which is 10. And then don't forget, we have to multiply it by 5. 10 times 5 is 50. So again, this is a great one because the multiplication did not come first, but that's a-okay because when that's all we have left, multiplication and division, we move left to right. That's been the biggest hang up for a lot of you. So just watch that on the homework, okay? On the next one, we're looking for parentheses first, and I do have parentheses right in the middle. So 5 plus 7, 5 plus 2 is 7. That's what I meant to say. We're going to bring down everything else. Bring down that minus 14, and now look at what you have here. This will make a difference the way you do this. I've got multiplication and subtraction. If I look up here, multiplication comes first, and then subtraction. We have to do it in that order. 7 times 3 is 21, and then minus my 14. So it takes me 6 to get to 20, plus an additional 1 is a jump of 7. 21 minus 14 is 7. On this one, we don't have parentheses. We do not have exponents. I don't see any, nope. So now we're looking for multiplication and division. Now this one has both, okay? Now because it has both, we go left to right. We don't pick over here and start here. We can't do that. It won't work out that way. Again, we're going left to right when that's what we have, if we have both of those in there. And we do. Remember, this subtraction comes last, right? So don't worry about him until you're done with the multiplication and division. And again, left to right. So this spot, that spot must be done first. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So 39 divided by 3 is 13. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply. And don't forget to bring down that minus 1. We'll worry about that one in a minute. 13 times 10, just add that 0 to the 13, right, is 130 minus 1 is 129. Glad I chose red so it won't run into this other one. So again, that was 13 times 10 minus 1. 13 times 10, 130 minus 1 is 129. And finally, I had to throw in one with exponents in there so that you guys could have that review. We're looking for parentheses first, which it doesn't have. So let's go to exponents. So we've got the 42. Oh, my tag's sticking out. Why didn't someone tell me? You can't, I know. Good joke, right? One of my corny jokes that I'm sure you miss. Okay, 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. We have to do that first because it's got that tiny little guy that we call an exponent. Now we have subtraction subtraction and addition. I almost said division. Subtraction and addition, which go together, but we don't have to do it. What we have to do is left to right because that's what we have left. We're not going to do the adding first and then the subtraction because, again, remember, if that's all we have left, we go left to right to get to the right answer. I told you guys how I was not taught it that way in school, and I kept messing up some of my answers because of that. Now I know. 42 minus 4 is 38, plus 7 is 45. So we're just checking that again. We can go left to right because addition and subtraction are all we have left. 42 minus 4 is 38, plus the 7 is 45. So that will be very similar to what you will see on one of the homeworks this week. About 10 questions on each of these categories. All right, and the last one was pretty good for you guys until it got to that subtraction sign for some folks, and then you were like, what's going on, right? But we'll go over it now, and you can keep this video handy and watch it as many times as you want, and watch the part that you need. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't need it. Absolute value. Now, absolute value is always a positive number as its answer. Okay, so, the idea is to take the bars away and get this number to be a positive. So all we have to do for this one is remove the bars. Remember I was saying take them out of jail, right? Remove the bars, let them free, and then that's such a great thing. We say, oh, that's such a positive thing. They are free. So our answer for that one would be 81. Take the bars away, keep it positive. Now there's going to be a couple circumstances where that's going to be a little different if there's a negative thing outside those bars, so just pay attention to that. Okay, the absolute value of negative 4.9. That negative is with the number inside, so we're okay. We now can change the whole thing to a positive. So take those bars away and make that a positive 4.9. And that's your answer on that one. The absolute value of negative 42. Now here's where we have to just be careful, and I put this on the notes for your homework. That negative out front is not with the 42, right? So we have to keep that negative. Hi, Sebastian. We have a visitor. Yeah. Say hi. We're going to leave that negative because it's not with the 42. The 42, if it was by itself, would just be 42. You say hi. But we're going to put that negative in front of it. So this becomes negative 42. So this is one of those cases where absolute value, the answer can end up negative as long as that negative was not part of the inside portion.
Mom,
yes.
some chips?
He wants chips. What do we think about that, everybody? What kind of chips?
I'll take the hat off.
It's Waldo hat. Go look in the phone. It's my Waldo hat. They're going to have to find Waldo in a couple minutes. All right, you ready? You want to help me? Here, come here. Come here.
Chips.
I will in just a minute. Ready? Let's do 3 more. Can you do 3 more? What number is this? You read it? 1.3. 1.3, guys. He said it. All right.
Next.
So, well, let's find out. We got to find out, right?
All
right. So now just look at the bars. Everything in the bars will turn positive, right?
2.
1 plus 1 is 2, guys. He's so good. Everything in the bars will become positive, 1.3. Now what happens is that we have this person that wants to come in, right? That negative sign. So what we do have to do is add on that negative sign. This is, again, one of those cases where the negative is outside. We have to keep it. So we get negative 1.3 for our final answer on that one. 2 more, Bash. Nice of you to visit us. They have been wanting to see you.
Can you get my chips?
I can. What's on your shirt? Tell them all about your shirt. Cool stuff. Pete the cat. Pete the cat. All right, just 2 more, everybody, and then we'll be out of your hair for the day. The absolute value of negative 5. Okay, I noticed the negative is within the bars, right? So that's a good thing because everything in the bars then can turn positive. This is simply the number 5. And the last one, Sebastian, what number are we on? The last one, what is that? You see it?
9.
6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 in the last one. All right, we are looking just at what's inside the bars. 22.5 would be positive. However, we've got something on the outside that darn negative, so we have to keep the negative. So this one will be negative 22.5 as your final answer. So the biggest thing with absolute value is just to remember that if there is that negative outside of the bars, that has to go with your answer. Everything else inside, if it's inside those bars, turns to a positive. That's it. I like the positive ones better myself. All right, can you say, have a great day, everybody? Have a great day, everybody. All right, we will let you guys go. Again, there's 3 homeworks this week. Easy peasy, just a review, great review for the final exam on these 3 things and about 10 questions each. And as always, message me if you need anything, okay? We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, you get a bonus point on one of these homeworks if you can find Waldo. Hopefully you heard that okay. If you can find Waldo in the picture I'm going to post at the end of this video, you get a bonus point on one of the homeworks. So good luck. See you later.